Great to see Jay Shaw's, Amy and Halo there at that Henley Beach property. That is a very, very beautiful property. And the one before it, Turret Gardens, that was completely refurbished by the previous owner. And they changed windows, did the kitchen, did a whole lot of work. And just really excellent, outstanding testament to the previous owners. And of course, the current one, now it's an opportunity to have yet another beautiful property, 2 really fabulous homes. So make sure you get out and have a look at those. And Jay's, of course, hasn't even been released yet, so that's the first look through. Nobody has yet been through that, and hopefully that's a real scoop for those of you out there having a look around out in the Henley Beach. Now, Justin Hazel is in the studio with us right at the moment, and we got cut a little bit short, Justin, with the wind up getting into the last segment. I was about to ask you about the Bowden development. What's happening down there?
Look, by all accounts, it's going to be a pretty interesting project. The first stage has been released, and I think there's about half a dozen builder developers that have been appointed. They're building a series of townhouse terrace style things and also apartments. By all accounts, the apartments are pretty much sold out. I think there's still a few terraces available. Stage 1's about 40 odd dwellings or so, maybe a few more. Then they're going to be rolling onto the next stage. I think they had an expression of interest closing tomorrow for the next stage, closing yesterday rather for the next stage. So we're going to be seeing some more activity down there fairly shortly. But that's obviously a pretty big project. There's about 2,000 dwellings or so in total intended to be developed on the former Clipsal site. So it's a big project, one to watch.
That is. And what are they replicating? They've been, all the people that sort of designed it, were you involved with that? Because they researched similar developments or potential developments around the world?
Oh, look, I mean, they researched a whole lot of different sort of walkable communities, transit-oriented development type scenarios through Europe, through America, and came up with what government thought needed to occur on the site and what all the urban planning people thought needed to occur with the site. And I think now they're just going to roll it out. And I think it's going to be very high quality. By all accounts, one of government's strong desirables is for high quality urban outcomes on that site. Right, yep. And I think that they're just going to make it happen.
Yeah. Now, before we go, I just need to understand what's happening with Amy. What's going to happen with all the land around that? You would know.
Well, yeah, we're involved in that project in a way, and look, I think that the need to maintain the ability for recreational uses on portions of that site are paramount. But clearly, once football has relocated to Adelaide Oval, some of that land will become surplus to requirement, and that will be redeveloped for a range of uses, which will include residential land development outcomes.
Now, what about North Terrace Royal Adelaide Hospital site? What's happening with that when it's vacated?
Well, there's a variety of groups that have registered an interest in that particular site. I think it would be sacrilegious to see that knocked over and just turned into nothing, turned back into parkland. I don't think it's necessary. Portions of it probably that could be turned back into parkland, but portions of it must be you must retain the existing built form and use it for regeneration.
Surely residential.
Adaptation, could be student housing, could be associated with the university in some way, range of uses.
Yeah, because it's just the most awesome site, isn't it?
It's a great site.
Just incredible.
Fantastic site.
Justin, it's been fantastic as always. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks very much, TOOP. Thank you for having me.
Now, don't forget, our TOOP air has been grounded for the time. We'll work around the clock to get back in the air. But the footage that we did get over those last 2 weeks makes it all worthwhile, and we will be pursuing that with great energy and passion. In the meantime, let's go and have a look at some incredible properties with our hot properties. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show. What excitement we're having at TOOP+TOOP. Come here, baby, come here. Say a little GoPro, all the way from the States. There we go. And this little baby will be taking a lot of photographs around town of your properties And I must say, I hope you are going to love the images. We do, we're having a lot of fun. And I've got to say, with technology today, the things that we can do that you could never have dreamt of years ago, and hopefully you're enjoying it. Next week, we'll show what we can do with an all-gate property. It would have to be one of the most incredible properties I've ever seen. And when you see the images, it looks like you're, I don't know, in the States somewhere, in some exotic place, and I hope you love it as well. So next week, stay tuned. We're having a great time at TOOP+TOOP. Our birthday's coming up shortly. We're going to keep innovating, and I hope you're loving it. We'll see you next week.